What if ambition in faith is not always a sign of pride, but sometimes a misunderstanding of what greatness truly means? What if the desire to be close to the top is actually a natural human longing, but Jesus redefines what top even looks like? And what if the path to greatness in God's kingdom is not upward in status, but downward in service? In the Gospel of Mark, chapter 10, verses 35 to 45, we encounter a moment that is both honest and deeply revealing. James and John, two of Jesus' closest disciples, come to him with a request. They say, "Teacher, we want you to do for us whatever we ask." There is confidence in their words, boldness, expectation. They believe Jesus has power, and they are about to ask for something significant. Jesus responds with a question, "What do you want me to do for you?" And then they make their request. "Let one of us sit at your right and the other at your left in your glory." At first hearing, this may sound like ambition for honor, but at a deeper level it reveals something more human and more complex. They are not just asking for position, they are asking for proximity to glory, to importance, to recognition in the coming kingdom they believe Jesus is establishing. They have walked with him. They have seen miracles. They have heard his teaching. And now they are trying to secure their place in what they believe is about to be a visible reign of power. But they do not fully understand what they are asking. Jesus responds gently but firmly, "You do not know what you are asking." This is a key moment, because sometimes we ask for things from God without fully understanding the cost, the path, or the nature of what we desire. Jesus continues, "Can you drink the cup I drink or be baptized with the baptism I am baptized with?" They reply quickly, "We can." Their response is confident, but perhaps not fully aware. And Jesus acknowledges that they will indeed share in his suffering. But he clarifies something important. Positions in the kingdom are not assigned based on personal ambition or request. They are prepared by the Father. When the other 10 disciples hear about this request, they become indignant. This reaction is very human. They are not upset because the question is wrong in itself, but because it exposes a shared desire among them all. Everyone in some way is thinking about position, recognition, status. So Jesus gathers them together and begins to teach something foundational about his kingdom. "You know that those who are regarded as rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them, and their high officials exercise authority over them." In other words, the world defines greatness through power over others. But then he says something that completely reverses this system. "Not so with you." This is one of the most important phrases in this passage. "Not so with you." Meaning, do not adopt the same definition of greatness that the world uses. Jesus continues, "Instead, whoever wants to become great among you must be your servant, and whoever wants to be first must be slave of all." This is not symbolic exaggeration. It is a redefinition of value. Greatness in God's kingdom is not measured by authority received, but by service given. Not by how many people serve you, but by how many you serve. And then Jesus gives the ultimate example. "For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." This is the center of the entire teaching. Jesus himself, the one with ultimate authority, chooses the posture of service. He does not come to be waited on. He comes to give. And not just give comfort or teaching, but give his life. This completely redefines what leadership, greatness, and honor mean in the kingdom of God. To understand the depth of this moment, we need to step into the mindset of James and John. They are not evil in their request. They are passionate, they are invested, they believe in Jesus. They have left much behind to follow him. But like many of us, they still carry assumptions shaped by the world. In their understanding, proximity to power equals honor. Sitting at the right and left of a king is the highest position of recognition. They are imagining a kingdom where Jesus reigns visibly, and they want to be closest to that authority. But Jesus is revealing that his kingdom does not operate in that way. The throne they imagine is not the throne he is heading toward, because before glory comes sacrifice. Before exaltation comes service. Before resurrection comes the cross. And this is where misunderstanding becomes instruction. Jesus does not rebuke them harshly. He teaches them. Because transformation in understanding is more important than rejection of desire. He redirects ambition instead of destroying it. He reshapes it, he elevates it. not by removing desire for greatness, but by redefining greatness itself. And this is deeply relevant for all of us. Because ambition is not inherently wrong. The desire to grow, to lead, to make an impact is natural. But Jesus challenges the direction of that ambition. Is it aimed at recognition or at service? Is it focused on position or on purpose? Is it centered on self or on others? In the world, greatness is often measured vertically, higher status, higher authority, higher recognition. But in the kingdom of God, greatness is measured horizontally, greater service, deeper humility, broader love. This is a complete inversion of values, and it is not theoretical, it is lived out in the life of Jesus himself. When he says he came not to be served but to serve, he is not describing an idea, he is describing his mission. Every moment of his life reflects this posture. Healing the sick, touching the marginalized, teaching the misunderstood, and ultimately giving his life. This is not accidental, it is intentional. So when James and John ask for positions of honor, Jesus does not dismiss them. He shows them a different path to honor. A path they did not expect. A path that goes through service, through humility, through sacrifice. And this is where the challenge becomes personal, because it forces each of us to examine what we are truly seeking in life. Are we seeking recognition? Are we seeking influence? Are we seeking control? Or are we seeking to serve in a way that reflects God's heart? This is not an easy question, because even in spiritual life it is possible for ambition to disguise itself as devotion. It is possible to serve while still seeking recognition. It is possible to follow Jesus while still desiring position. And this passage brings that tension into the light. But Jesus does not leave us in tension without direction. He gives a clear model: serve. Not occasionally, not selectively, but as a way of life. Because service is not a lower status in the kingdom, it is the highest expression of it. Then he uses himself as the ultimate example. The Son of Man came to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many. This introduces the concept of sacrificial love. Love that gives without expecting return. Love that serves without seeking recognition. Love that prioritizes others above self. This is the foundation of the kingdom Jesus is building. Not a system of competition, but a community of service. And when the other disciples react with anger toward James and John, Jesus uses the moment to teach all of them. Because the issue is not isolated to two individuals. It is a shared misunderstanding, and correction is given to the group. This reminds us that spiritual growth is not just individual, it is communal. We learn together, we are corrected together, we grow together. And sometimes, misunderstandings reveal deeper truths that need to be addressed collectively. So Jesus reshapes their understanding of leadership. Leadership is not domination, it is service. Authority is not control, it is responsibility. Greatness is not elevation over others, it is lifting others. And this teaching continues to challenge every generation that reads it. Because it goes against instinct, it goes against cultural patterns, it goes against natural ambition, but it aligns with the heart of God. So as we reflect on this passage, we are invited into a different way of thinking, a different way of leading, a different way of living, not driven by position but by purpose, not driven by recognition but by service, not driven by self but by love. And in that shift, something profound happens. Greatness is no longer something we chase, it becomes something we embody, through humility, through service, through following the example of Jesus himself. Thank you for watching this video. If this message spoke to your heart, please take a moment to like, follow the channel, and share this video with someone who needs to be reminded of true greatness today.